Ello Ello Dolls. It is I, ArtWorkOfDR, DJ Kitty Ruby, you know, your girl. And, yeah, so I've been working on my paint mixing skills. Mostly because of my 7-year-old artist. He is having difficulties, being able to do art at school and at home, and he has this thing about trying to keep it separate for some reason, and they're learning about the color wheel and primary colors and mixing and things. So I'm really touching base myself. Just, you know, like the different combinations and how to make certain colors work. So I did these quick little ones here. This is just regular red. This is yellow. This is a blue. I think it was an ultramarine blue. I don't have it written down here, but so that's all these colors. Then I kind of made like a little shape one. The only one that I found that I don't really like the mixtures of so far is the red, green, blue combinations. They get really muddy really fast, so I'm really not going to show that because I need to get better at that one myself. And then I did come up with a pastel-y one. At first I was just using these 3 colors, which is just like a turquoisey color. And that is a purple. What is this one? These are Daniel. 2 of them are Daniel Smith's. Yellow is a Shinhan one. I'm trying to get the pan. Well, I can't get the pan out. The purple one is Wisteria. It's from Daniel Smith. I really do like it. It's very nice. It doesn't mix well with yellow, but it does mix really well with the turquoisey color, which happens to be... Where did you go? No. I know, I should have prepared myself. I should have brought these out in advance. What was that? Wisteria. It's not lavender. This one. It's cobalt teal blue. It's another Daniel Smith. I really like it. It's kind of like a turquoise. It's got light green oxide in it and PG 50. So you can see the pigments in there if my camera will pick them up. But I mean, they are very pretty colors. And, well, anyway, when I was looking up ways of mixing color and things, I came across a video. Luckily, someone from my Instagram who follows me and I follow them sent me a message saying that they know of some YouTube videos that might come in handy, and there was one by Zoe. I'll try to find the link and put it in as well. And she uses magenta. I don't necessarily have a real magenta, but I learned that if I mix 2 colors that are already in my palette from the Shinhan set, if I mix the Opera, I think it's called Opera, and the one right next to it, the red violet, they become a really nice magenta color right here. They have a little bit of separation. Once it dries, you can see like a little granulation, but I don't mind that. I think that is beautiful. So I made all of the ones like going around the color blend with these 3 colors. I made all these ones up here with these 3 colors. I wouldn't mind actually doing a piece involving those 3 right here, because it made some really cool like jewelry kind of tones. I don't know if I would involve the yellow necessarily, but I mean, these 2 colors work well together. They work really, really well together. So I'm thinking about maybe doing a piece with just them in it. But so I decided that I would go ahead and mix a pre-mix a pan, so that way when I am working on these, I don't have to keep grabbing both colors separately and putting them over into the mixing pan. So it'll just be easier because I am going to be doing more work with mixing colors. Because I want to be able to help my little artist. And it doesn't just, it's not just with watercolors either. You can do a lot of mixing with acrylics and other paints as well, but I find it most helpful so far mixing when it comes to my watercolor. And even when I use my Bombay India inks, you can mix a little bit at a time because those have really strong colorful powers. They're intense, so you have to add a little bit at a time. Sometimes you got to add a little water just to get the right color, and you got to keep testing on the kind of paper that you're working on. Same with watercolor. Sometimes it's best to keep retesting. As long as you kind of remember what your ratios are, you should be okay. I'm trying to see if I can find, there it is. Okay. I recently grabbed a bunch of stuff out of my storage. So not my storage, but my like art/video storage, because I remembered that I had some stuff stored away for some videos and activities to do, and I hadn't done them because I was doing a hiatus for a while because I wasn't feeling so good. I'm really trying to get back into recording videos, and then the other half of recording the videos is editing the videos. So I already recorded one video today. So if you see me in a shirt like this and a hair thing like this, my hair is a little different in that one because I didn't put it up in a ponytail yet. But I got hot, so I didn't put it up in a ponytail. But anyway, so if you see videos that I'm wearing similar things, it's just because I had more time that day and more energy that day, and I decided to go for it. So I figured I'm going to be mixing this anyway, and I might as well do it on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and mix this up for you. So on its own, the color it turns out very nice. The two of them mixed together make a very bright magenta color. It's very pretty. You add a little bit of the cobalt teal blue. It turns more of a purpley color. You add the yellow. I believe it is just lemon yellow. It turns into a nice a lime green color, and then of course the yellow on its own. You use yellow with the magenta color, you get a nice orange color, and of course the more color of the opposite color you add, the color changes. I did get some nice oranges, almost more of a pinkish red, but still a red when I did these the first time. And you can get darker purples and stuff as well. I was just kind of like playing with it a little bit on this postcard watercolor, so. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. So there's that one. I do kind of want to make a mixture of these two together to see if I can remake one of these colors. I think it would be one of these three. I do like it when they granulate and you see like the two different colors at the same time. So I think I'm going to use another one of my empty pans. Stick this one here next to the other colors. And I suggest, like, if you've never mixed watercolor before I started getting tubes, I never mixed my own except for in the palettes, you know, where you grab a little with your brush and put it on there. If you've never done it before, start small. Start with colors that you know mix well together. You can experiment by adding touches of colors or dots of colors on paper and kind of seeing like where to adjust colors to your liking. I have mixed quite a lot for my own gouache watercolor palette that I made. I have a whole bunch of colors in here. I don't even know how many there are in here right now. Not all of them are mixed. Some of them are straight gouache or straight watercolor. But, I mean, if you want different shades without having to mix every single time, most of the time when I am making a piece, building a piece, I kind of know the color palette that I'm looking for, or I'll play around a little bit as I go. But most of the time, I look at my chart up here on the wall. Probably just show you guys really quick. I have a chart of all my watercolors right up here. So if at all, like, I'm in the middle of trying to figure out colors, I can just look up there. I don't know what that is. And I'll know, like, okay, I have that color, or I can make that color simply by adding this to that. I suggest you play around a little bit just to get to know your colors, like I said. Put a little dot together, because if you mix it in a pan and it doesn't turn out quite the way you want, are you going to actually use the paint in the pan? I would hate to see someone waste watercolor, especially when you get like more expensive paints, the series that, you know, sometimes as you go up in the series, they get a little bit more costly. I think the most expensive ones I've gotten have been some of the Daniel Smith ones. I do have quite a few good number of them now. Oh, yeah, these were the last 3 that I got from Daniel Smith. The Cobalt, Teal, Blue, Rose, Madder, Permanent, which you can just call Rose Madder if you want, and then the Wisteria. I got all 3 of them together. I picked them all out at the same time. The swatches. Okay, I look on Amazon, and they show you swatches, like watered down swatches, and as you can see, like granulation things. I am all about texture. I try to show it, but I don't know if I'm not doing it right or not in my pieces. Those are the last 3. They all have very nice pigment. I don't think I have a swatch of them up there. I need to make another swatch sheet to put up there. I didn't have these when I made all my little swatches, so I need to do that. But I do have a swatch in this book. This is the one, right? Yeah. So this is one of my watercolor sketchbooks, and see, like, they're very pretty colors on their own, and you can kind of mix them in together, but like when you do, you get such good like granulations. You get, like, I don't know, I was just kind of playing around and haven't really done much with the colors themselves yet. So, like I said, I took a break, and, you know, I need to get back to them. But yeah, some of them have been pretty expensive. Not too expensive. I try to stick to under $20 when I buy a new one. But like these 3 are some of my favorite ones that I've gotten so far. No, lavender was one of my favorite ones. Obviously, the tube's almost completely gone. Moonglow, I've had 2 tubes now. This is the second tube. I had a small tube to begin with, more like the size of like one of these, or a little bit bigger than these. I even have like a few that are kind of shiny. This one's shiny, the iridescent topaz, and when you put it on things, it does look really nice and gold. This one is kind of shiny. Those ones were probably more costly than the rest of them. Let's see. I have Rhodonite Genuine, made the ones that have the P's on them. I believe they were actually made with real stone pigment. I have to double check that later. But yeah, I started out with obviously like pre-made pans, but when I got into wanting tubes of things. The first actual thing I got with tubes was my gouache. I got Arteza gouache, and I am a fan of it. It works really well. I have Arteza's real brush watercolor pens. They're nice. Yeah. These guys, I started out with them with Arteza, liked how they worked, but I was really into figuring out watercolor again. So I got gouache because I never used gouache either. They say it's a mixture of like working with acrylic and watercolor. So, like, to me, that's like a good medium. Because I have done a lot of acrylic work in my life throughout the years. So yeah, I started with getting Arteza, the gouache, and then I got some Daniel Smith. I've got some Shinhan. I've gotten some Winsor Newton test ones, like the really small ones. I really do enjoy getting them in tubes. You can put them in your own pans. You can use a little tiny bit in the pan. You can put a lot in your pan. It's really up to you how much you want to put in the pan. Like, if you don't think you're gonna use that color very often, only put a little bit in, I suggest. But if you think it's gonna be something you're gonna use a lot of, you can fill your whole pan. These are just half pans. I only have a few full pans. I think that was because I accidentally got that one. I don't think it was intentional, but I really do. I don't know. It's like one of those things, like, I never thought I was going to enjoy mixing paint, but I do. For some reason, I do. It's fun to me, and I have a lot of fun mixing my own colors. I wish my hands would allow me to actually mix paint, like, actually, like, do the glass and the pigment and the oils and stuff, or however you do it. I wish I could do that, but I just can't. My hands have totally not been that great. So I've used a lot of the actual paint from my pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually put some more in my pan for we mix. One of the things I really do enjoy about the Daniel Smith brand is the variety of colors is amazing. Like, I don't think I've ever seen so many different colors in my life, and I have nowhere near touch base on collecting all the colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix a little bit of these two together and see where I'm at a little bit, and then we'll get back. Stratmore watercolor postcard set. 4x6. They're acid free. There was 15 of them. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to send them to anybody because I don't do postcards, but I figured they'd be kind of fun to play with, at least. I don't like to waste any paint, so that's why I do this. Put the paint, put some water on a brush, and just paint it off of the stick. Plus, it's a good way to test your mixture and see how it turned out. So, like, you can see that the blue and the purple kind of separate a little bit. And that's exactly what I like. So I think it turned out pretty good. Probably use this in some landscape pieces. Maybe. Now, sometimes you're gonna want to keep mixing, and that is up to you. If you don't like the way that it's turning out when you lay it on the paper, I would suggest continue mixing it. You just go back in with your tool and you mix it a little bit more. I kind of like how it is, but I think I'm gonna just go back in a few little tiny bit more and kind of just mix it back. You got to remember, whatever color you put on the bottom, you got to make sure you get down into that bottom of the pan again and into the sides, all of it. You don't want to leave it just sitting there without touching it, because it will, once you're digging in there later on after it's dried, you will have an issue. So I'm going to add a little bit of more paint of both colors, actually, because I want to make sure that the pan gets filled. And I will just mix them both in there. Alright, that should pretty much be enough. Make sure those get closed. And another thing that I have learned with working with watercolor with tubes is if you're having a hard time reopening, do not use your teeth, okay? That's not what happened to mine, but I have seen some people do that, and I'm just like, no. Use a pair of cheap pliers. You just grab a hold of the black part, twist a little bit until it comes open. Because sometimes if you don't wipe off the tips, the paint does rebuild up, and yeah, it's not pretty. So I know this is like a short little video, but I don't know, like with everything going on with my son and trying to make sure that he understands that school is not just for you to go have fun with your friends, that sometimes there are going to be things that you feel like you don't need to learn, but you do. So he's been butting heads with his art teacher a little bit, and I just want to make it a little bit easier for him and try to find a way that I can teach him in a fun way. So I'm relearning a little bit so that way I can teach him a little bit. Because I was the same way as him, just wanted my freedom to do whatever I wanted when it came to art. There were a few things that I probably didn't pay close enough attention to in school, and now that I look back on it, I wish I had. I wish I had paid more attention in school. You know what I mean? But I didn't. And but I did take every art class I could possibly take throughout high school and stuff. So I mean, that's a choice. Right now, art's not a choice. It's kind of like you have to take it in his grade. So, but as he gets older, maybe he'll choose to take art and he'll enjoy it more. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing what I'm doing, and talk to you guys in a minute. Very bluish purple color. I don't know. I would call it more of a teal wisteria. We'll just mix the two. It's a cobalt teal plus wisteria. It's purple when it starts to dry up. It has the granulation of the cobalt teal in there, so you see pops of blue throughout. It's very pretty. I went ahead and just, I don't know, was playing with the colors, and the shape started to arise, so I turned it into a cute little fox, spirit fox. It's kind of like about to curl itself up and attack. I'm watching a lot of different animes, and I don't know, for some reason it kind of popped in my head, so that's what I got for you guys today. It's time for me to get going. I have to get ready to go pick up my kids and hubby, and then I will be back, you know, home making dinner and doing other things like that. So I don't know if I'll edit these 2 videos tonight or over the weekend, or heck, even start of the next week. I only have one appointment next week that I know of. I guess it's on Monday, I think. I thought it was after the holiday, but it's not. So I have time. We did upload a video this week, so cross your fingers that I can continue uploading videos. I got a little behind, but we're making it through. So I hope you dolls liked this little mixing video, and hope you like the little postcards. This one obviously is not a done postcard. I'll probably do something later, but this one is pretty cute. So I hope you dolls remember, always keep those creative juices flowing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!